Thanks for coming this morning. I know everybody has been waiting for this particular day. Let me start out by saying this. The purpose of this press conference is to be able to give you information on evidence that we retrieved regarding a search warrant at 1773 US 6 in Roaming Shores. Yesterday, early morning and early afternoon, we received information from not only our coroner, but the Cuyahoga County Regional Forensic Science Laboratory that identified the bone fragments at the scene to be that of Alesha Bell, the missing person in Warren. I will tell you that the investigation is still continuing. A lot of evidence has been entered and is continuing to be tested for DNA and all the forensic information that we could possibly get. We are continuing investigation on a daily basis, working hand in hand with Warren PD. And I will tell you that I would appreciate at this particular time, since we got the identity of Alesha Bell being a victim, that you give privacy to the family and allow the Sheriff's Department and Warren PD to continue to investigate this, which is going to be a lengthy investigation. I will answer any questions, but I will caution you that this information that we're given today is just basically resulting in the fact that we could identify Alesha Bell as being a victim at that residence, and according to the forensic testing, it is 99.999% assured that it is her. We did a thorough investigation at the scene. We gathered a lot of evidence. A lot of evidence is being processed as we speak. It'll be a ways up the road until we get any identification, if there is any additional. What I can tell you is we were concerned about Alesha Bell at that particular time, and as soon as they found out that information, they gave us that information. But I will tell you that there's a lot of evidence that's going to be processed over the next several weeks before we get any of that information.
Did they figure it out by matching the DNA to the mother?
We did take a swab of the mother, I will tell you that, and I'm not a forensic person, but I will tell you that we did take swabs, and that information was processed through the Cuyahoga County Coroner's Office. The investigation is continuing. If it leads to that, I'm sure that the prosecutor will process that, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Understand there's a lot of work we're still going to be doing, and it's being done as we speak, and it's going to continue. So we have to understand that this is a process that everybody wants answers. We want the answers too, but we're going to do it thoroughly and get it done as soon as we can. We're going to take a look at everything, and certainly we do know that there are a lot of people in the database, and that's going to be up to a lot of information that we're going to get back from the evidence that we entered in the scientific part of it. But we'll continue to interview and do further investigation on this thing.
Sheriff, these bones were scattered, so at this point you don't know if you have more than one person. Have you taken swabs from anybody else?
We have taken swabs from different people, but I will tell you that we recovered every possible piece of evidence that we could at the scene that particular day, and that was August 20th. It's a homicide, and a lot of times we have to do a lot of investigation. We have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that whoever is involved is taken to justice, so it's really not unusual. It's just it's another homicide case that we're going to work real hard on and get all the facts. It's our job to investigate any kind of crime, and we certainly want to always come with a really good conclusion. And I might add that it's very difficult for us sometimes to do our job all the time, every second of the day, when we get constant calls. We're not hiding anything. It's part of an investigation. And you know, even with the family, it's important to understand that the family needs to go through closure, but they also you need to understand that they have privacy as well, and we should allow them that privacy.
There are two other missing females from Warren, and the mother of one says that her daughter also knew James Brooks. Is that part of the investigation?
We will look at everything possible in regards to this particular case. I'm not going to say no, but I certainly can't say yes as well. We'll investigate every single complaint that we got, any possible suspects. We will certainly do our job thoroughly.
Is human trafficking a part of your investigation?
We're looking into everything. We won't take anything lightly. If it leads to that, certainly we'll look into that as well.
Do we know how Alesha Bell died?
That will be totally up to the coroner's report. All I can tell you is we're here to identify that the remains that were taken from the scene were that of Alesha Bell. Again, we're looking at every single thing in regards to everybody that could be involved in this particular case. And that's what the investigation is all about. There's a lot of questions that you might ask that we don't have the answer for. Some that we do, we have to corroborate that evidence. So we're not going to go any farther than that. Like I said, this was really designed to get everybody together because everybody wanted to know if, in fact, this was Alesha Bell. If there are additional, we will certainly tell you when we get that information.
The thing I would say is, in real life, it took this long to get DNA results. The swabs were taken from the mother the night of that everything was discovered and sent. It is not like on TV. We've been told there may be another 2 weeks that would lapse before any further evidence would be forthcoming. And I think, just like Sheriff said, we're wanting to be upfront with the community in hopes to get closure, certainly now with this identification and notification of the mother took place last night. The coroner's office went and made official notification to her, which is our job, part of our job.
How difficult is that?
I did not go. My deputy, Tom Despenis, went, but it is quite difficult. Families often hold out hope that this is not their child as a victim, and of course, wanting to know more. So I think just, again, as Sheriff Johnson said, you have to give us time. We will be forthcoming again with more as the forensic evidence unfolds.
Coroner's ruling then that this is a homicide?
At this point, yes, under the investigation, this is definitely being called a homicide.
The next step is this case has to be presented to the grand jury. So it gets presented to the grand jury, and then after that, if there's an indictment, then he'll be scheduled for an arraignment.
Sheriff, can you clarify one thing? There was some reference at one point to a phone belonging to Alesha Bell being pinged right to that address on Route 6. Was that correct or not? Do you know?
Again, we did recover a phone, and that's being processed. So we're not going to get involved in any details of the investigation at this point.
A phone was recovered at his house.
Yes, a phone was recovered as part of the evidence. Yes.
What charge will be presented to the grand jury?
That is not for public. Everything that's presented to the grand jury is secret. Everything that takes place before the grand jury is secret. So for me to tell you what's going to be presented to the grand jury is inappropriate.
But we do not want to harm this investigation in any way. We'll do our job. We're just asking you to be a little bit patient, and when we get that information that we can release, we will release it to you. Well, we're very busy, but this is not the only homicide we've ever investigated. We've had several since in many years. So it's just another call, and we will take as much personnel as needed to investigate this, but we'll be doing other things as well. So yeah, it's difficult. Nobody wants to be talking about homicides in your county or in your area, but it's a fact of life today.
I just want to say that in the short time I've been prosecutor, yeah, we've been very busy with a lot of deaths and murders and so forth. But I can say that I have never in my career been surrounded by more dedicated people to their job than I have with this department and with all the county and the law enforcement agencies in this county. They have dealt with every tragedy, every case with the utmost professionalism and dedication to their job. And it is a privilege to be in this position and to work side by side with them. So.
He's being held here. Currently, Nick, his charges are...
He was charged with abuse of corpse, tampering with evidence, several counts of trafficking of cocaine and heroin, and having weapons under disability. So he's facing a total of 10 counts at this time as a result of the lower court charges. There was a preliminary hearing, a very lengthy preliminary hearing conducted before Judge Schroeder last week, and those charges were all bound over. And his bond, I believe, remains at $700,000 cash surety in an aggregate fashion.